Right, we're back. Part 2. Take 2 of part 2.
Part 3.
Part 3, possibly, but not for you. It's too confusing. It's like Back to the Future or some shit now. Right, we had another question in from Ross Bayers. It's at Ross BAYE your favourite boxing attribute. Right, Dave, shoot. Right, Sean, shoot.
Go on.
Head movement.
All right.
Yeah, it's a combination of a few, but mainly just, seeing a punch, being able to move, reading punches, just.
So give us who's an example of it?
Lawrence Coley.
Amir Khan.
Not Ted
Deontay
Cheeseman.
Wilder.
Not Ted Cheeseman, anyway. No. There's a lot of boxers that read punches well. Like watching Canelo and Golovkin, where you guys put me onto that fella that does the analysing of the boxing, and he slow-mos and shows you a clip, and it just seeing from the reads and the tells like that they see, and the body movement that they do. It's when you've got an elite boxer, and you can now that's opened my eyes to see what they in basically what they see.
The really subtle things that
the subtle things. You get to realise, hang on, that's not that guy missing. That's not that guy throwing wildly. That's that guy making him miss and countering.
Such a small amount as well.
But knowing, just knowing, oh, hang on, that's not going to touch me, and here comes my hand, and oh shit, he's countering, and that's where I need to go. It's an art. It really is. And don't get me wrong, I love power, but there's just something to it with when you get the head movement, and obviously that entails a few other things as well, because without that you get the leg movement and countering. But yeah, for me it's just the upper body movement and just the reading of the other fighter. That's what I love. I'm
kind of with you. And I was just thinking about it, that I think it's countering that I like, but I don't even think... I think it is just people making other people miss.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Like you said, it's fine margins. I don't even mind if they don't throw a punch back either.
No.
I don't even care.
Imagine how many likes did Billy Joe Saunders get for that Lemieux? Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Did I make you miss by about a country mile? That got hit up massively.
But I wonder what would have happened if the whole round went like that. Lemieux would have probably won the round.
What, just...
Because Billy Joe Saunders didn't...
In that instance, he just moved, sidestepped, looked up and went, where did that go?
It's an interesting point about kind of points in boxing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you could not throw a punch and make someone look ridiculously stupid,
but they'll win the round.
But they will win because they've been the aggressor.
I suppose that's where the countering comes into,
you need to have that.
You need to have that, make him look like an idiot, and then just finish it with the ultimate bang. Here you go, you wanker.
Do you think it puts more pressure on judges? Because let's say sometimes it does take it to be slowed down to actually see what's happened.
I think it's harder. I would until you boys showed me that guy. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of him. It opened my eyes up massively. I used to think they knew there were certain things they would counter. They'd throw one just to do this, but it was the fact that he broke it down so much. Like even the eyes, they're looking. They're looking here, but they're throwing here, but because they already know what he knows. Like he knows I'm throwing this punch, so I've got to look at what he.
Yeah, it was feints for feints.
It was like the little mini.
Exactly. Jesus, man.
It was like a mini, 6 steps ahead.
It's what people say.
This is what's going to happen.
Chess, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
You are however many moves.
It is, but say you can compare it to football as well, where sometimes you might have the most technical boxer, and the coach might know it, but he decides let's play percentages and let's not leave it to the judges to notice that.
Yeah.
It's like football, and it's like let's not. I know you're.
There's no point being Man United when Bolton win 1-0 there.
Yeah. And it's like that style of boxing when it takes it to be slowed down, to be seen.
And again, don't get me wrong.
And again, in them
situations, judges appreciate.
Yeah. There's people that were very, 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 very good at it. Mayweather being one.
Yeah, and because the problem in those situations is again it comes down to we've spoken about it before. What side of the ring you're on, what view you've got, and again, like you said, judges are expected to see it, but judges haven't been fighters necessarily. They haven't been trainers, so they don't they're not necessarily going to be looking out for the feint that
makes it look.
Canelo throws here in order to draw out that shot that he can then counter.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one. Again, I hate to reference football again, but it's one of them ones where you know, people always say, oh well, they've run X amount of miles in this game, and it's like, yeah, but someone like Lionel Messi doesn't move for the first 10 minutes of the game.
Sergio Busquets.
And sometimes you do more by not doing anything.
Yeah.
You could run around ridiculously. You could throw a million shots and it would be a waste of your time. And then the guy could just be thinking, right, well, I've made you do all this. That's a skill in itself. Like I said, that's the art of it.
Yeah.
You do, but you still got to win, haven't you?
That's it.
I think that's where the culminative head movement, body movement, leg movement has to end with a counter.
Yeah.
For anyone to appreciate it, or to appreciate it more, is you've done all these bits leading to the ultimate thing of got to punch you for, like, you haven't hit me and I've hit you.
Like, you know, remember the build up to Hatton against Mayweather, and like Hatton was sort of like joking about like the tippy tappy sort of pad work.
Yeah.
And in a fight, like those little things probably gets missed by some of the judges, but ultimately Mayweather knocked him out.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you've got to do that, and this is where like the football thing. I can imagine football coaches, probably boxing coaches, say just get rid of all that fancy stuff because
the basics.
Yeah,
you'll win a game 9 times out of 10 just doing the basics perfectly.
It must be frustrating. It is frustrating for people to play football, and it's got to be frustrating for boxers.
But you see a lot of people. You can do it. You see a lot of people in boxing who have made great careers out of that. I want to say great career out of just doing the basics well.
Yeah. I mean, they might be perfectly capable of doing all the other stuff.
That's it. Like it sounds harsh to say. You know, someone like a Martin Murray or someone like that.
Yeah.
Who's good at most things. Probably you'd probably say in terms of what he's good at everything.
Yeah.
But he's not exceptional.
No.
In my opinion,
he had
at anything.
I think he had his where he was at his peak. He had his 2 chances, and in my opinion, he got robbed both times.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. He should have been a world champion.
Yeah, and
wouldn't have been a world champion for long. But that was it, because he was very good, very strong fighter, very good fighter.
That's it. He gives a shot well. He takes a shot well.
Exactly.
He moves around well. He's got good heart, good engine.
That's
nothing, in my opinion, as harsh as it sounds, is exceptional.
No, I wouldn't go there thinking, he's got so much power, he's going to knock out someone, or his head movement's amazing, or he works the ring really well.
Because you'd rather he had less of some attributes if he could bump some other ones.
I wouldn't mind if he was chinny, but he could knock out people for fun. Do you know what I mean? It'll be one of those, right? It's when you're doing like
when you're building a boxer.
When you're building a boxer, the old games, one would decrease as you increase the other, and it was one of them. Like you building the ultimate fella, who do you do? Does he have half a chin, or does he have unbelievable power? Does he have no heart but stamina for days? It was one. Do you know what I mean? One of them ones.
Do you know, I've long said. I remember having this conversation before. I actually really believe it, but I don't know if I do. I think all humans are actually built like that.
Yeah.
I think literally, like we've only got so many attribute points that you can have. And I said, you look at all the people in the world who have been like absolutely exceptional in their fields.
Yeah.
I say all of them. Obviously, that's quite a sweeping statement. You look at your, like, if we're just talking strictly musical, you look at your Winehouses, your Michael Jacksons, Kurt Cobains. You know the people that they are
pinnacles of their.
They've reached almost the top of their can in their career, and then you look at the rest of their lives, and they're just like they're fucking falling apart. You look in sport, you look at some of the top players there. You look at like your George Bests, your Maradonas, Adam Johnsons. It's well, not even like to an extent, like your Mike Tyson and stuff like that. People that are at the absolute peak of the sport. It's like you can only be so good at so many things, and if you're unreal at this, that you're gonna be lacking somewhere else. I genuinely feel like humans were only built with so many things you can excel at.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a bad analogy.
That's a weird analogy.
I like it.
I just that's my favourite thing. Dylan White's ever said.
Oh,
after
it's
Chisora
come
said
through
he was
like
through
that,
him like a diarrhea tablet.
Yeah.
Probably be a quicker B sample.
Yeah.
All right.
Good question.
Favorite question.
Absolutely going outside the box. I love a fighter with a good solid chin.
Oh, okay.
I'm all about that. I love a fighter that can slip punches and they look slick and it looks amazing.
Okay.
But there's not many things better for me than when a fighter gets clocked and just kind of smiles back and just like, nope.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything.
Canelo's, Golovkin's.
Yeah, that fight was just...
Do you actually believe, like, because obviously in some fights they do that, and it's like, yeah, that didn't hurt, and obviously it did hurt, but they're genuinely saying that I'm okay.
Yeah.
Then you see other fighters that do it, and it's like, oh no, they're doing it, and
they're doing it, but their eyes are like facing opposite directions.
The ones I love
calm, and he's like doing this, like, come on, hit me again.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Don't bang your gloves together, because as you're banging your gloves together, the geezer's hitting you in the chin again.
I think it was the Danny Garcia fight where Amir Khan was doing that.
Yeah, let's just fucking go to war. Bang, let's go. And it's like, no.
I don't even if they hit you on your chin. I hit you on the top of the head and you're gone.
Yeah, well, if you punch him in the hip, to be fair, it would be game over. But yeah, I love it when a fighter can get absolutely pummeled with a single shot and doesn't go down. Even if they do go down, but they can clear their mind.
They have it in
very
them to
quickly.
get back up.
There's several
boxers.
Like
Mayweather against McGregor, wasn't it? Mayweather just took all that punishment the first few rounds and just walked him down in the end. And that jab
it's like Mayweather.
Mayweather pure
like on the end of his nose. He just took it.
Ting.
Yeah. Like Mayweather, for me,
eyes.
is a fighter who had a massively underrated chin as well, to be fair.
Oh, he got banged by Maidana flush.
Yeah.
And it wobbled him. And Mosley slapped him big time.
Like, it pissed me off because he just grabbed and held on to Mosley after that shot.
Yeah.
But I hated that because I wanted him to lose. But when you look at it objectively after time, you just think, it was clever.
You had to.
Like every other fight, if you get hit, you think, fuck it, I'll hold on. We ain't going anywhere. We ain't doing that again.
That's what I love seeing, like the elite boxers, because I think they do everything better.
They know their game.
Even the way they hold on is better. Like when you saw Kovalev against Ward as well, when Kovalev was holding on to Ward, the way Ward got himself free, like that's skill as well.
Yeah, just to release himself and be like, I'm ready to go again. I know
it's just ring general. Like you know, after however many years in the ring, like you're not going to see someone who's brand new in the sport or even early in their career with those skills in the locker. People like Andre Ward, you see that they can do that because they've been a boxer for 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
It should be hard to try and hold them, isn't it?
Exactly. You think these guys are strong, they are athletes. If someone hooks you around your arms with their arms, you shouldn't be able to move.
No.
But they have tricks, but things like that, I love it. And like I said, the Mosley one with Mayweather, he got caught on the button and just held on to the arm just long enough so that he could compose himself afterwards. You see other fighters that Frank Bruno would, in my example, if you hit him, his arms went up in the air or they dropped to the side, but either way he wasn't protecting himself.
Yeah, he was.
And there are many fighters like that.
Klitschko was a bit like that. His hands went up in the air.
That's it.
He would just
the legs went, and that was it.
His hands, it was quite.
It's the sort of thing your body just goes into instinctive mode.
Yeah,
and you can't control what you're doing.
No,
you just can't.
That's like the one when they know they're hurt and they have to take a knee, rather than the ones that are hurt. Try it, and you can see they're grimacing. And
I don't like it when a fighter takes a knee.
Wow.
So I've gone fishing there, Dave. Don't worry.
I know. And but it's true that the good ones know when they're hurt and when to recoup and take a breather, take the 8. Whereas not the bad ones, but the ones that are not elite level, they'll try and fight through the pain because they're a warrior or whatever. And
it's a bit like golf, isn't it? Like something bad happens, you've got to realise what you've done. Keep your head and do the right thing next. Whereas Amir Khan's bad for it. Like he'll get knocked down and just get straight back up.
That's it.
Because his mind goes, but he's like,
and he'll think, right, that geezer's going to rush me.
That's what we were saying. It's doing the basics well. Yeah. If you get knocked down, the basic rule would be take as much time as you can.
Yeah.
And then get up, and if you have to, cover up. Take your time. Hold on. Stretch
Rough
out.
It.
Just
survive that round.
Just be shit, but you have to just not get hit again.
Exactly. Rough that game. Hold him.
That's what I said. But for me, obviously, it's not just all about actual. Like, having a good chin is not about your actual chin, like your actual bone.
Yeah.
But like I said, people like Carl Froch, like you could hit him, and he probably wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. It's like but
that for me is sometimes better than them delivering.
He had a bit of everything. He had a bit more though as well. Like if you couldn't turn around to me and say you're going to watch a Sam Egerton because he's got a chin. Because otherwise he's just not interesting to watch.
But see, with Egerton, I don't necessarily think he's got a fantastic chin because he gets hit
A lot. Cheeseman, he's
the same. When I say good chin, I don't necessarily mean someone that just gets hit a lot and doesn't fall over, because they progressively get worse and worse. The more they get hit, they get worse and worse through the fight, to the point where you just think, fucking now, man, you
just
are
pull
getting absolutely annihilated. Froch could get hit with good shots, and you always know
that ain't gonna happen in the next round.
He could be fine now. 30 seconds later, right? I'm gonna go again now, and it's back on an even.
The one thing I will say, Froch was always entertaining if he did get hurt. Like you know, you can see when people get hurt. If he did get clocked, I used to love when he tapped his. Okay.
Bang! Come on, let's do it again.
That's it.
Come
like,
on, bring it in.
He didn't have like knockout power, but he had the power to sort of mix it.
Like he could hurt people. He threw enough punches in flurries that if one did clock, it was going to hurt and wobble, and then he finished.
We always said with him, he's a stranger, because if you look at the way he boxes, he shouldn't be as good as he is. Because he just kind of stands there. A lot of the time, he just stands square onto you.
Very.
And he just swings like he's having a fight outside a pub.
Yeah.
But
his jab was underrated, though. I think.
Listen, he was a very good boxer at times, but I just think he just wanted a fight all the time.
Yeah,
But if you've got the confidence to think, go on, hit me, because I know that I can weather this storm.
Yeah.
Like Tyson Fury, Wilder. Next fight they go into, Wilder's going to think I'm going to have to knock you down, but Tyson Fury's going to think, I can take your shot now.
Yeah. I've taken 2 of your best.
If you've put me down and I can get back up,
I
can do that again. So I don't think he's going to have the fear in that. So I think it's one of those things like Carl Froch. We reference it in George Grossing all the time. He should have been out cold and probably been thrown out of the fight after that. The knockdown.
His eyes were shut. His
eyes were shut. His head hit the floor. Everything. Yeah. You should be out at that point. Yeah. But it's the reputation that comes with having that chin.
Exactly.
That allows
most other fighters, they don't even get to get up or open the eyes. The refs already holding their by the back of the head and waving it off.
Yeah.
Froch being what he is, and let's be honest, he's a beast when it comes to chins. He is, and
I mean, he's no Eubank Senior, but he's there.
He's definitely up there with one of the best chins. So yeah, I agree. I do like a fighter who's got a chin, and
Right, shout out to Ross for that question. I like that one.
That was a good. Yeah, I like that question a lot.
Because you get a lot of the same sort of questions a lot.
Yeah, who's your?
Which I don't mind, because it gives us something to talk about. But that was a nice.
I would like a boxing Top Trumps game to come out, whether it's an actual card game or whether it's like a app. I like that.
So what you're saying is we need to make one.
Yeah.
See, I would make one, but someone will probably do it exactly the same thing a week later.
Wanker! What an absolute wanker!
Yeah. Shout out to everyone who's making original content for themselves.
Booyah!
Whether that's a podcast, a series within a podcast, Twitter questions. Shout out to you.
Yeah, and if you're listening,
you shouldn't, because I've blocked you.
Yeah, so
You can't block people on Spotify. Yeah, fuck it, I don't care anyway.
Fuck them.
People know that we're the real ones.
Yeah.
Real from day. That's us. Right. Moving on to things that are equally as shit.
And not so real.
Yeah. Saudi shit show part 2.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Ruiz. I'm saying his name first now as well.
Ruiz versus AJ. He's a champ. He's a champ, son.
Press conference with no fighters in is something else. Like, we were going to announce Deontay Wilder's fighter today, but he, even though the contract's done, he's not here to confirm it.
Yeah.
But he should be. He's agreed to it, so I apologise. You just have to put up with us just sitting here on our stools.
Considering he's going to make shitloads of money out of it.
Well, he's contracted already. He can't say no, so
yeah,
he just didn't want to turn up today.
It's just a shame, really. Oh well, we'll have to have 3 more conferences, and hopefully
he'll be in next time, because the contract's already sorted. You can't disagree with it.
Yeah, well, that's it.
So, in the same vein, Sean, what are your thoughts on this fight?
The first thing is the press conference, which is it's like a Frank Warren sort of move, isn't it? Announcing an announcement sort of thing.
It was weird.
Gather all of you here to tell you that there's going to be a fight.
And this other man that no one has a clue who he is. I don't think it's... Well, it might happen in Saudi Arabia. I think Andy Ruiz probably has asked for more money than the first few choices could generate, or more of a percentage. And they probably said to him, look, if you want it's 40% of the pot, whatever the pot is, like 30 million or whatever, and that's X amount. So if we let's just go to Saudi Arabia and you can get that amount, you can't have that. It won't be that percentage.
Yeah.
It might be that just to give them as much money, or it might be
to give Joshua that much more money. Could be his last fight.
Yeah, well, possibly. It sounds like that's the more. It's definitely a money-related reason, but alternatively, I think it could be Andrew Ruiz said, "I don't want it to be in the UK." And then said, "Okay, let's go to Saudi Arabia then," and then they'll be like, "Actually, I will have it in the UK," and then that'll be in Cardiff. Yeah, and I think it's probably more likely to be the second one.
Do you think it's worth booking a hotel in Cardiff? Like, if you were an AJ fan
just to throw it out now.
I bet they're pretty expensive still, because like a few days before the announcement, but this is where it's all really dodgy. So Sky Bet had a thing about where it's going to be. Yeah. So Sky Bet know where it's going to be. So I can't believe that they can take bets on something where they know the outcome. I've never really seen that in anything ever before.
It's not right, is it? Surely there's.
I've said to you before. I'm definitely said it on here. The fact that Sky Bet exists when it's part of the Sky network that has a Sky News channel.
I don't mind that much so much.
No, it's terrible.
It's like to me, it's like slightly worse than when there's managers, like who's the next manager going to be sacked when they already know. But like when it's like who's going to win the league, who's going to win a fight, obviously they don't know the answer. But with this one, they know the answer.
Those sort of things are fine. Yeah. But in things along the lines of, like we were just saying, who's the next person going to be that fights Anthony Joshua after Ruiz? Like I said, they already have inside knowledge on that, so they can take bets on that.
Yeah.
But also they have a news channel
and the news app
that gives you the information. So they could say, rumours are that Anthony Joshua is now going to fight Deontay Wilder in his next fight. Suddenly People start lumping it on Sky Bet that he's going to fight Wilder, and they know full well it's not even possible.
So a few days before it was announced that like Cardiff was still like the 1 to 4 on favourite, and then it went to Saudi Arabia 1 to 20 or whatever. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think they're going to fight in Saudi Arabia.
I'm not convinced they're even going to fight. Although the IBF, I think, have given the sort of, they've said that they're
not going to strip at the minute. I think there's a lot of money. It's funny how they're not going to strip now that there's Saudi oil money floating around.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there? I just don't. Everything sounds so vague. They haven't even had to announce the venue because they said we're building a new one, so they haven't actually. They can't get caught out like that. Like if they said, it's here, then the owners of that venue would have to say, it's actually happening, but they haven't done that. So they've said we're going to build a new one.
But they've given a date already, haven't they?
Yeah, they've given it, but they've also got to build that in that time.
4 months.
Yes.
Well, listen, it can happen for the World Cup. Weren't they building air-conditioned stadiums?
Well, this one's going to be cold, isn't it? Like, it's going to be relatively cold at night at that time of year. But it's like, I'd imagine you're building a new venue, so that means you've got to have probably like ways of getting to this new venue. So it's not just a case of building the venue.
Infrastructure and then the workers. Like, it's a lot of money they're going to invest. I'm still going to stick some money in
Cardiff because
I think it's worth a shot.
Adam Smith said it on the night, like, the rematch in Cardiff. So it's obviously in the contract. That's where the rematch is going to be.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine Ruiz would probably rather have it in Cardiff than Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, in terms of tickets, I think this is a perfect ploy. If you tell people Saudi Arabia, and then it's not, they're going to want to go to Cardiff. If you want people to do something and you ask them to do the impossible, and then you go, all right.
We'll make it a little bit more accessible.
You downgrade it.
The only problem is that they are saying that they're going to announce packages and all that. As soon as they do that, then...
Yeah.
All you can do is make people buy it and then refund them if you're really trying to play some weird game.
We're going to hire out a Boeing 747.
Well, I mean, it is all just a bit dodgy. Like,
$2,500 to get your flight.
Like they've sort of said that a visa comes with every ticket, which is fine. That could be true, but it also means that they can cancel it without. It also means people won't go through hoops.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily.
And how does that work out? How can you buy a ticket and your visa be sorted to it?
But I mean, that allows them to cancel it, knowing that people haven't wasted their time and money.
There's ways around that sort of stuff. I'm sure you could work it out with the Saudi government, where you just have everyone on a particular plane, everyone gets ferried in at the same point, and then ferried straight back out.
Yeah, but what about convicts? How do they check?
Wow, you're getting into like the terms and conditions nitty gritty now.
Yeah, but turn away at the door. Again, Saudi, no.
Fair enough.
But we were saying earlier that I think if he's really doing this for like to spread the sport, then just do what they did with the boxing subsidy, make it free and make it for Saudi people only.
I'm not buying that. See, that's the sort of shit that used to get said by FIFA. We have an obligation to bring the sport to the world, to the masses, and I think maybe in terms of FIFA it was bullshit anyway, because we all know they were on the take.
Yeah.
But you kind of understood that they were a global body. Matchroom are not.
Yeah, Matchroom are out to make money.
They do not have an obligation to try and grow boxing in other parts of the world.
No, I don't see what they do.
They're all over the place. Let's be honest. I mean, like 18 months ago, they were saying, or it wasn't even 18. It was about a year ago. Like boxing's coming home or whatever.
AJ's next 2 fights guaranteed to be in Wembley. But it hasn't even been through Wembley by accident. Since then.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So now they're saying they're going to take it around the world. It's like, what? Why there? Like, I thought you wanted to go to Nigeria and have a fight, and the whole thing about Andy Ruiz is sort of, at least he's got his wish. It's on neutral ground. It's like the first one was on neutral ground. He's Mexican. It was in America. Yeah. It's like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
I think
AJ chose it to be in America. Like he was fighting in America either way.
It wasn't Ruiz's choice. It was fight where AJ wants you to fight.
Yeah. You want the money. You want this chance.
I mean, and now AJ's coming out moaning about excuses, sort of. And he's so contradictory. Everything, like Hearn is saying now that it's going to be in Saudi Arabia rather than UK, so Ruiz can't use any excuses if he loses. It's like, well, AJ's using excuses now that he lost. It's like he's come out this week sort of saying, the ref was too quick and I didn't think he was going to stop it and took my eye off the ball. It's just it's shocking.
I semi-agree with.
It's not shocking.
I thought it was, when I first saw it, I thought the ref was a bit quick, but he wasn't there from the start. So
do you think it's going to happen? Do you think the rematch will happen at all?
I think it will, but I'm with you. I think it's going to end up being here.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of want to see it go there.
It's better, isn't it? It's at 9 o'clock, I think, the main event.
Well, not even that. It would just be a case of just to see what happens. Like, we've seen what happened when the Amir Khan shit, and that was a farce. That was embarrassing. And I want to know what Eddie Hearn thinks he's going to do that's going to be so much better.
Well, what's funny is he's saying this week, I'm getting a lot of stick for it because I'm a trailblazer. I'm the first one to do it, so I'm taking the slack for everyone, and then everyone else will be able to do it afterwards. It's like, hold on, you were praising Sauerlands for doing it when they did
last month.
You can't praise them for doing it and then take the credit for doing it first.
Yes.
You literally praise someone else for doing it first.
Yeah. And
I also want to add as well, I've got absolutely no issue with the fact that it's in Saudi Arabia. You know, a lot of people have jumped on the whole human rights issue and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which is not great. You can never deny that it isn't.
But it's not been great for years.
Well, no, and this is very selective. Anthony Yard's fighting in Russia in the next in the next couple of weeks, and no one said a word about this. Very similar sort of situations. Like, our country technically has been under attack from Russia in the last year or so, and yet we're still sending guys over there to fight. It's so
I'm the drug treat stuff and all.
I'm not a fan of this whole selective anger. Either be angry at everything or just shut up. Just don't be angry at any of it. You can't pick and choose who you want to be annoyed about.
Because otherwise, Saudi Arabia shouldn't be allowed to do anything, and that's just not right either. That's obviously.
I know Eddie Hearn's come out and said, they want to progress, they want to be seen in a different light and everything, which is fine. Like, Dubai's got more westernised. I can't see it happening personally, just because I just don't think the need or the want for boxing is massive over there. I can't. Like, they had Amir Khan, who's a massive Asian, let's say, I can't say influencer.
I was going to say, I'm desperate to hear how you finish your sentence.
No, but you know what I mean.
He's a massive Asian
icon. Asian icon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well
done. That's the nicest thing you've ever said about. I can't believe you just called him that.
An Asian icon.
Well, he is. And
British
even
icon.
then, people like we were alright, whatever.
What? He's not British.
No, but
no.
Shut up. Shut up.
Jesus, David.
Fuck off.
Me or.
Either way, we spoke about it. They weren't interested.
Yeah.
And he's an icon. I just can't see.
So how does it not? The problem is like, how does it not happen now? Are they just going to say, "Yeah, I need to"?
They'll blame it on the stadium. Stadium ain't going to be built in time. Oh, it was a bit harsh.
Oh, there's nowhere else
Trying
to
to
do it.
build a 12,000 seater.
I'm just going to go out and say this as well.
Oh,
I'm going to throw this out there. I said this last week that the Dylan White B sample, all this shit, was just going to get buried in the AJ announcements. I said we're going to get a shitty announcement about a venue, then a shitty one about a date, and then a shitty one when it's all
cancelled.
And this is what's happening now.
Yeah.
We've had multiple bits of nonsense come out, and still nothing has progressed from what we've spoken about for the last 2 weeks. And this is exactly what's going to happen to it. Like you said, it's just going to roll out at some point, and nobody will care because it's going to be so buried under Matchroom bullshit that it's non-existent in news.
It will be 6 months before you hear about Dylan White,
and he's already done his ban.
He's already served it.
Do you think
So
Andy Ruiz is gonna or wants to fight in Saudi Arabia?
Nah.
No.
No, but I mean, obviously probably doesn't want to. But do you think he's agreed to it?
I don't think he has.
There'd be a lot more on his side, wouldn't there?
There was a Boxing Social interview this week where they were asking Eddie Hearn, and he basically just said it doesn't matter what he wants. It's all agreed. Everything was agreed in the first contract, so it doesn't matter what he wants.
Well, this is why I think this is what they're doing. What they're doing. It's almost like this is where we're going to have it, Andy. Now, do you want it here?
Do you want it there, or do you want it in Cardiff?
Yeah.
Like, take your pick, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that story will continue on.
I'd love it if he said, "Yeah, fine, let's go."
Just
for it.
go Saudi.
Yeah, just call me bluff.
No one really wants it there, do they?
Yeah.
No, but at the end of the day, he knows no one on Joshua's side's coming either. We'll just have it in an empty. I know.
How far away is like Saudi Arabia from Mexico? Because I thought it's like a really long way on the map, but on a globe that might just be like around the other way, like really short.
Yeah.
just a quick hop flight.
No.
Could be like.
I'm guessing it's just as
16
far.
hours.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's what I'm guessing. That's a pure guess.
I like that. It's
probably not.
They probably need 2 weeks camp out there.
Oh, what, to acclimatise? Not in total.
No.
I'll just take a 2-week camp for Joshua. This one's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Progressing, because like I said, this story will unfold a lot, and there'll be plenty to talk about with this. Billy Joe Saunders signs with Matchroom.
Yes.
We kind of spoke about it last week anyway, because it was obviously always going to happen.
Well kept secret, obviously.
And again, so there's not even really that much to talk about. Good move for Saunders?
Yeah.
Good move for Saunders, Sean?
Good move for Saunders.
Yeah, hope so.
Good move for Callum Smith and Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Well,
potential
Brook
fights
might
now.
get a fight.
Well, him and Brook, are they still in this?
The iron sharps iron.
Oh, they're not in the same camp anymore, are they? Obviously, I assume they're be good friends, but Saunders is now with Ben Davis.
But I was saying earlier that I think it calls into question. I think it's good because the fight should happen now. But I think if the fights do happen now, I think that makes it clear why they weren't happening before.
Yeah.
What, Frank Warren?
No, I don't think so. I think it's probably the other way around.
Could have been.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the same. I think Warren always wanted them fights.
Yeah.
It's just Hearn was not willing to.
I was going to say, I always think he has one of those fights, but Eddie Hearn was never going to want one of his boys to lose to a Frank Warren guy.
No. Especially
and lose the belt, lose all of the hype around it to
a
Warren fighter. Question came in from at Northbank Bren. Shouts out to you. And will Billy Joe Saunders ever fight Canelo?
I hope so.
That'd be great.
So this is the one now. Obviously, they're both signed. Well, Matchroom doesn't DAZN and whatnot between them, so there shouldn't be obstacles now.
No.
I still don't think it will happen.
I don't really think that was the obstacle, was it? Because there's no reason why Golden Boy and...
Well, no, there was no issue with that.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those ones where, depending on how you listen to what the Matchroom team say, because Eddie Hearn sits in all these meetings and he suggests everything, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd love it too.
But if you're Canelo, you're going to want to fight Golovkin again, aren't you? First,
it's the money fight, isn't it?
It's probably easier.
Yeah, I think there's 4 fights which are great, and that's Canelo. I think finally getting the Andrade fight sorted. the two main ones, Canelo and Golovkin, and then Smith. I'm not having the Eubank one being touted as a great fight when you've got those four ahead of him.
But what we're going to get
if he loses 3 of them fights, fine. But if he
not for a while.
We're going to get Rocky Fielding,
Andre,
Martin Murray.
No, Ryder's fighting someone.
No, the Martin Murray fight will come up now as well.
No,
Ryder's fighting someone.
And then it'll be probably Danny Jacobs because he's not going to get a world title.
Well,
otherwise.
They touted him. And Saunders said he'd fight Jacobs, no problem. But the straight go-to was Chris Eubank Jr.
It's just good. Listen, I've said it to you before. I hate it or love it. He's a superstar within boxing.
Yeah,
people
I get
are
that.
always going to throw his name out because it gets media.
No, I get that as
inches or whatever you call it.
He's a name, but he's not done. He's not done the same.
He hasn't.
Joe Saunders, which when we talk about the Brook and the Khan thing, that they were at one stage they were very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Levels. Obviously, there are ups and downs and whatever, but Saunders is sort of ahead of Eubank. While Eubank's had 2 or 3 setbacks,
he's always been ahead of him,
and
which is why it's bizarre.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
it's just
why
all about status because even though Billy Joe Saunders is a far superior boxer.
Yeah. Joe Saunders has turned around and said he's strong and he's a fit lad.
Yeah,
but
he's a far superior boxer.
His IQ's not good
and
enough.
he's had a far better career.
Yeah.
But he will never be as big a star. Whether people say that's because of the surname, whatever you want to say it.
He has something about him that's
it, and
that people want to watch.
People want, and that's it. Whether you want him to lose or win, people are always going to be using his name to boost profile.
And he is and has been in good fights. And don't get me wrong, his career is nowhere near over, and he will be in more good fights. But for him to be touted as like a main thing for Billy Joe Saunders, when Joe Saunders is at that level now where he shouldn't be fighting a guy he's already beat, if that makes sense. Unless it's worth.
If they fight Eubank, it's a money fight.
And that's exactly what he said. He said, I've got money.
I think he's always looking out. I can't really remember too many examples of Hearn having 2 elite fighters that fight each other.
Yeah,
of his own fighters. I don't really think he does that.
Are any of them really his fighters? Except for maybe Smith.
Billy Joe Saunders and Smith would be like. I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll do that as a last resort because
like the Callum Smith Rocky Fielding one, Fielding one.
Well.
Because after that, you essentially.
I don't think Rocky Fielding was ever going to get to where Callum Smith was going to get to.
That's what I mean. But you have these situations where you have alright, and so like a Coley and Chamberlain, it's almost like a winner takes all sort of thing. Whoever wins out of this, the other one is going to have a very shitty journey.
I don't think he's ever done that at the elite level because he wouldn't want one of them to lose. Whereas if it's an international fight or levels above, you can always explain it away by that was a bad.
This
guy, for example, you can say, it's a one-off night, bad night, and we can still get behind this guy. Whereas if Callum Smith batters Saunders.
Yeah, then he's signed someone.
Investment, isn't it?
Yeah, he just signed a waste.
So I can see it being Rocky Fielding, and I think he's ready to get rid of Jacobs. I can see him being happy to let him go in the way of Saunders, Andrade probably.
I think you'd let. It's strange because he's guaranteed not to fight someone big his first fight. So you're probably right. A Rocky Fielding or someone we know. If
Rocky Fielding loses to Saunders, it doesn't matter, and Billy Joe Saunders is going to win,
and he'll look good doing it. And I agree.
I think he'll step him up, and it won't go. Callum Smith will be. I think it'll be after Canelo Golovkin because if Saunders loses to either of them, Smith's fight's still there.
The domestic ones are always going to be there. I genuinely think he'll get one of the two though. I think there's for him to sign with them. To leave Frank Warren, which he didn't leave on bad terms or anything. We know, the pair of them have come out over Twitter and said what they've said.
It's like when you have them relationships. Yeah, we've mutually decided that she's going to leave me.
Yeah, but that's with my mate.
That's
but well, it didn't. Look, they both talk highly of each other, so I think he would have only been persuaded to go with them. If he was given, the golden egg in regards to future fights.
Yeah.
So I can see one of them fight. Maybe not both of them. I'd love it if he got all 4 of the fights I said, because I genuinely think he's brilliant, and yeah, I think he could be. You know, one of those ones where you turn around and go names and boxing history. Like, for me, I think he's fantastic.
He's a drugs cheat. But so did Eddie Hearn 6 months ago, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well,
swings and roundabouts.
He's got loads of them, hasn't he?
Well, eventually he's going to have to sign someone who's not.
And to be honest, the way it's going, we're going with pro peds anyway, aren't we?
That's it. Let's just all do it. We should have.
Let's all do it. Let's have it as well.
Listen, I went to Amsterdam. I told you. The motto is now: take it all, see what happens.
So we're going to have a podcast.
Ped pod. This shit writes. This shit writes itself.
We're having peds and.
What sort of peds
do you talk really quickly?
We have a Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Where someone's going to get smack.
That's not performance enhancing.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to perform. I quite like the performance of laying on the floor, dribbling, and spasming. So I'm down with that. But maybe not. Maybe we'll save that for a video pod, ped pod.
Vid ped pod.
Yeah, let's get it on. Right. Very quick question because we've got minutes to go.
Cool.
Let's wrap this up on this one. And this is again from North Bank Bren. Craig at Boxing Social also tweeted in a very similar question. Let's get it up. Okay, Craig Scott. That's at Craig Scott 209. And if you don't follow Craig, go check him out. He's one of the best writers in the game right now. I actually love reading this stuff. He works for Boxing Social, formerly of Fight Talk. It's a bit contentious, to be fair. He says, will Janet Jackson be playing AJ Fight Week? And we had a similar question from North Bank Bren. Let me just scroll up to this one. And it's Glastonbury had Janet Jackson, Stormzy and Miley Cyrus. Surely the fight should be taking place there. So,
I think...
do the stars make the difference?
Yeah, I think Janet Jackson probably... I think they've got to get Janet Jackson and David Guetta. They're the two that are performing in Saudi Arabia. They'll be doing the ring walks.
Yeah.
You've got to, haven't you?
They should do it like Ultimate Boxing. They should have their own fighter.
Have I missed something?
Probably,
yeah.
Where are we getting...
Well, Eddie Hearn has basically said, look, Saudi Arabia's alright because Janet Jackson, David Guetta, they've had concerts there.
Oh, okay. So on that basis, they're the ones... Okay, I thought there was something I've missed. Like they're
unfortunately
going to put this into like a show or something. Okay, cool.
So...
Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, that is the answer, right?
What? You think putting them two as ring walks?
I think that saves the day.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them instead of Andy Ruiz.
Joshua to knock out Janet Jackson.
What?
Funny how he drew for Janet Jackson and not David Guetta though.
Yeah. Jackson plainly can take a punch.
On that note,
I'm not even doubting that.
On that note, for my sanity, I'm going to wrap it up there. I can't believe you just said that Janet Jackson can take a punch from Anthony Joshua. David Guetta's there.
Yeah, he ain't gonna take it.
I don't know what you're actually talking about now.
Punch.
On that note, we'll wrap up. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have a B sample result. Probably not. We'll probably just have more AJ stuff. But thanks for listening. If you are listening on iTunes and all them sort of things, do leave us a review. Do interact with us on Twitter. We love to hear from what you guys. Love to hear what you guys are thinking. So we'll be back next week. Peace.
My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children.